You just need to be running in the shoe in the right way. Landing on the heel feels awful, but as soon as you start landing on the midfoot to like towards the front of the shoe, you do get that bit of a roll that pushes you forward, and it's just, yeah, it's super smooth. How good's this? So hill reps this morning, I've got 4 times Durambi. So it's about a 4-minute climb, and I'll just kind of get faster as I go, and then I'll also pick up the pace on the descents too. So start pretty steady and then, yeah, build up and try to be running nice and fast by the last one.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Such a busy little hill here. I met a Chinese lady and I've seen her running like around Tuggeranong heaps, and she honestly looks like she doesn't stop. No idea what she's training for. She said she's from China, and she kept saying something else which I couldn't understand and pointing up at the hill, and I just felt really bad. Yeah, it was definitely hard today. My legs were hurting. The last rep I definitely wanted to walk, but we're done. Moving on. I also met this 75-year-old lady who was walking up the hill. I think I just absolutely ruined her morning. Just breathing heavy, lapping her because I did the hill 4 times. So running up past her and then running down past her. But yeah, had a little chat to her at the end, and no, she was lovely. She was like, oh, I'm really impressed. I used to do that when I was your age. And honestly, like, so impressive that she's still out here kicking it on the hill. But beautiful morning, so I don't know why you wouldn't. So I got 12 Ks, average pace 6:07s, total time of 1 hour 13, average heart rate 148. So I've changed the battery in my heart rate strap now, so fingers crossed it's reading a bit better. I had it on yesterday and it just wouldn't connect. It was like dropping out, telling me I was at like 80 beats per minute. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, just felt absolutely terrible today. I think it was a combination of having sore legs from yesterday, but then also I took a gel, had a gel in my pocket, a caffeine one. Usually I'd have it after the warm-up, and I just didn't take it. So just maybe it's a sign. Take your gels. Monday afternoon, gym was on the schedule. So what do? Some yoga. I really hope my coach doesn't watch this. James, if you're watching, turn it off. Today we're gonna go with Yoga with Tim, 30-minute full body yoga and flow. I used to use an app called Yoga Collective. It used to cost me 20 bucks. I'd buy it on Groupon, and then I'd have access for a whole year of all these different Pilates, yoga, core workouts, the whole lot. That expired. I can't get the deal again. So now I'm just relying on YouTube to give me all my workouts. And yeah, heaps of yoga options, heaps of Pilates, and then I've found like these good 10-minute ab workouts to do too. And it's so nice because it just takes all the thinking away. You put it on, you do 10 minutes of abs, it hurts, and then you're done. But I think the reason I really like doing yoga is because I feel like with running, you're like moving in one direction the whole time. Your muscles are getting pretty tight from that repetitive motion. And even things like going to the gym, it's just loading up those muscles even more. So I just find yoga and Pilates gets me moving in different ways, moving to the side, gets my joints moving in different directions. Fingers crossed, that's what's going to prevent injury in the long run. It also just feels nice. All right, Tim, let's see what you got.
To your left front pocket. See how far you can stretch the arm and the leg away from each other. Think of the wrist creating some resistance pulling down the other way. And reach arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring hands to your heart. Step your foot up by your thumb. Then lower your back knee down to the ground. Bring your hands to your left knee and slowly start to upright yourself. Change, right hand down. Left hand to your right ankle.
In all seriousness though, I think it's really important that you do listen to your body. You know, it's really good having a coach and having a plan and you sticking to the sessions, making sure you get all those green ticks in Training Peaks. But at the end of the day, like, nobody knows your body like you do. And I honestly think like no one is as honest with their coach as they should be. You know, like your coach might ask, how are you feeling? You're like, oh yeah, I'm fine. You know, I can keep doing the sessions. But deep down, you're like, oh yeah, maybe I am a little bit sore. And I think it's really important to sometimes take the time, sit down with yourself and figure out, am I not doing a session because I'm being lazy? I'm telling myself I'm tired, or am I actually not doing the session because I know it's the right thing for me right now? So for example, for me today, I had my long run yesterday, feeling pretty fatigued, had hills this morning, and then went to work, got home from work after 6 o'clock, took coach out. By then, 7 p.m. Realistically, if I go to the gym, I'm not getting home till 9. I haven't had dinner yet. I have to get up early the next day. It's just not going to work. So for me to just make that decision and say, okay, gym's not going to fit today. What can I do? All right, 30 minutes of yoga. Yeah, it's not what the plan said. I'm still doing something. And at the end of the night, it's going to leave me feeling the best and set me up well for tomorrow and then the rest of the week as well. Actually pretty good on the sand. What's your preference, trails or road?
Trail.
Why?
Sure. Look at this. It's beautiful. Just mixes it up too. You got little hills and little stairs, and it's just way more fun.
Trails 1, road 0. So today we just had 60 minutes easy. I'll do 30 minutes the Savo as well, so I'll do a double. And it was 9Ks, average pace of 6:50, took an hour. Christian and I did a little elevation guess. So I guessed that we were gonna do 170 meters. What did you guess, Christian?
205.
205. And we got, so Adrian gets 230 and I got 263. What'd you get to?
500, so I got 288.
And Christian got 288. It didn't really feel that hilly though.
It's just consistent. We kept going like
just consistent. Yeah.
There you go, easy elevation. So I've been on the coast for about 2 days now, and we've been pretty lucky with the weather. It's been pretty warm, sunny, nice. And then, yeah, woke up this morning, it was a bit overcast and the rain's kind of settled in. So Christian and I were driving out to Shoal Bay. He's gonna go and run the coastal track. He's got a long run today, so 2 hours 15. And then I've just got another build run. So I got a 35-minute build, pretty similar to what I did last week, just having an extra 5 minutes on the end. 15-minute warm up, incorporating some strides, doing a few drills and activations, going straight into a 35-minute build from 4:30 to 3:45, and then in the last 8 minutes I'll put in a few pickups. So I'll do 3 pickups down to around 3:20 pace. Let's see how we go. It's pretty wet. I have found a path. It looks like it might only go for about a K out though, so potentially I'm going to be running like a K out, turn around, K back, turn around, and just getting a little bit dizzy. But yeah, better than nothing. I got 2 gels, so I'll take a caffeine and I'll take a non-caff. It's always a little bit harder being away. You don't have all your own nutrition options. You know, like the usual breakfast that I'd have, bagel and jam, banana, Red Bull. It's like I just wasn't organized enough to have all that here. So I had some raisin toast and just been sipping on some Powerade. But yeah, should be fine. It's nice and cool. Bit of rain never hurt anyone. All right, build run done. It was actually pretty nice, like running in a little bit of rain. Literally, yeah, doing like a K out, K back, and just repeating that. So I got 15.6 Ks, average pace of 4:30, total time of 1 hour 10. And then for my actual build, I just built down from 4:30. So first K, 4:30, 4:20, 4:16, 4:10, 4:04, 3:57, 3:44, 3:42, and then had about 500 meters in that last K. So probably sitting around that like 340. And yeah, had a few pickups in the last 2Ks. So just getting the speed down to about 320, and that felt pretty nice. Yeah, just great time all round. I just wanted to quickly go through the shoe that I've been wearing. So I picked up the Adidas Evo SL at work the other day. I'm a big fan of Adidas. I love their race shoe. The Adidas Adizero Pro 4 is what I predominantly use when I'm racing. And it just feels real nice. It's got those energy rods in the bottom. Absolutely love it. So wanted to give this one a go. This is kind of their training shoe. So there's a few similarities. They use the Continental grip on the bottom. So it's actually quite grippy. It's not very rough. It's quite smooth. And yeah, today obviously it was raining, and running on the footpath, I felt like I had no issues. But running on the road, it definitely felt like I was slipping out a little bit and having to use my muscles to kind of keep myself stable. So initially this week, I ran in it for my hour aerobic run, which I had on Wednesday. And I was super excited. I was like, amazing new shoe, let's go. Popped it on, felt nice, felt pretty padded, and then as soon as I started running, I was just like, this thing feels awful. It was like the foam in the bottom was just like a flat piece of foam. It wasn't molding to my foot. I felt like I was in a high heel for some reason, and I was like, I just felt uncomfortable at the heel. I was like, whatever, all right, I'll warm up into it. And yeah, the whole run, I just finished the run and was like, nah, absolutely no, hate this shoe, not a fan. So I just had a look at some specs online just to kind of see what we're working with the shoe. Same foam that they use in the race shoe, the Light Strike Pro, and then a bit of a heavier upper on the top. Obviously they're not going for light as light can be with this training shoe. It's got a 6mm drop, and yeah, it like fits pretty snug. You can see lots of Adidas, they do come in quite narrow at the midfoot. So if you do have like a bit of a wider foot, you can tend to kind of like flare out the sides of it. But for me, pretty narrow foot, fits me pretty well. And even the length of some Adidas shoes can fit a bit long. For me, I'm a 9.5, this is a 9.5. Initially, I thought it might be too big, but after having run in it, it was perfect. Now coming back to Wednesday, like I said, didn't love it, was like, don't like this shoe. I was like, I'll give it a chance. So today I had my build run, and I had a little bit of an inkling that maybe this shoe was gonna feel a little bit nicer when I was running a little bit faster. So I started my warm up, still felt pretty heavy. Last week for my build, I wore the Puma Deviate 3, which is a plated shoe. It's got more of like a sock-like upper and just fits my foot really nice. So had a great build in that. Coming into this build, wearing this shoe, I was not too sure how it was gonna go. Great foam on the bottom, there's no plate, so a little bit more flexibility. But if you had a few other things going for me, it's a little bit cooler here, had a pretty flat path, and it's also down at sea level. So lots of positives. Warm up, felt terrible. And then yeah, started my build, and as soon as I got down to a pace that was under 5 minutes, 4:45s, 4:30s, just started feeling really good. Started picking it up, got around to the 4-minute mark, and I was like, yep, this is great. And then as soon as I started getting down to around 350s, 345s, and doing those little pickups to 320, great shoe, no issues, felt fast. It's almost like you just need to be running in the shoe in the right way. Landing on the heel feels awful, but as soon as you start landing on the midfoot to like towards the front of the shoe, you do get that bit of a roll that pushes you forward, and it's just, yeah, it's super smooth. So my recommendations for this shoe would be, if you're looking for a shoe to do your tempo or some of your speed workouts, absolutely. It sits at about 240 bucks, so it's not gonna put you out of pocket. And yeah, Adidas just makes a real good looking shoe. So we got back from the wedding yesterday, late afternoon, and it was beautiful. So it was at Nelson's Bay, and it was at like this little eco resort. And the weather was like calling for rain, and yeah, literally just for the ceremony cleared up. And yeah, had a ball. We stayed at this caravan park, which was literally, you walked out the back door and the beach was right there. So it was so cool to be back, just waking up, going for swims. Had the best time. Back in Canberra Saturday morning, and stairs today, so back at Red Hill. And yeah, literally just did the same as last week. So 5 reps of the stairs here. It's kind of 4 minutes to the top, and yeah, ran, hike, ran, hike, ran. I thought I'd actually feel better this morning from last week. Last week it was the afternoon. Today it's, yeah, like 6:30 in the morning, but I reckon I felt worse. Probably just due to the travel, not eating properly, not getting enough sleep, like having some late nights, all that sort of thing. I think it's easy to forget, but it definitely adds up. So totals were 9Ks, ascent was 485 meters, and it was an hour and 4 minutes. And yeah, this is my little graph. I'll show you. just like to make something good to look at. Also, so in Nelson Bay, did lots of running, had easy runs, hard runs. Christian had a long run, and he ran this super nice coastal track. So we ran a part of it one day for just an hour jog that we had, where we started at 1 Mile Beach and ran out towards Anna Bay, and it's just, yeah, this single coastal track that goes through the bush, up some hills, down onto some beaches, super nice. But when he did it, drove out one morning, I had a session, so I stayed along the Esplanade, but he started at Tomaree Head. So basically he like ran up to the top of Tomaree Head lookout, up to the top, and then ran that coastal trail all the way back to 1 Mile Beach where we were staying. And yeah, he said it was absolutely beautiful and said the trail was absolutely deserted, and I'm pretty sure that's because everyone was on the Esplanade with me. But yeah, I mean, if you're ever out in that area, then 100% recommend that trail. You get quite a bit of elevation without realizing too, because you're on the single track, you're looking at the views, you're doing a bit of up, doing a bit of down. I think he got 800 meters in about 23 Ks. Yeah, if you're in Canberra and Bateman Bay's getting a little bit busy, yeah, just drive, I don't know, 6 more hours up the coast, head to Nelson's. You'll get some great running in. It's a beautiful place. Morning. Long run this morning, so I've got 2 hours 45 and I got to do a mix of trail and road. I took a bit of time last night just trying to figure out somewhere where I could do that, and I was kind of thinking of heading to Lake Burley Griffin. That's where the marathon's going to be. I was like, I'll run some of the course, I've got Black Mountain, but I figured I might just run from home so I can jump onto some trails that are about 4Ks from here. So I'll run 4Ks on the path, do about 20 on the trails, and then 4Ks back home. Should end up being about 27 Ks in 1,000 meters elevation. And honestly, the hardest thing for me right now about these long runs is just finding a shoe that can do both. So if you wear trail shoes on concrete, they're just super uncomfortable. And you also wear down the bottom heaps quicker because they've got the little like grippy nodules on them. As soon as they're in contact with like hard surfaces, they really just rub down. But then if I just wear a normal road shoe that doesn't have much grip, as soon as I start going up any steep fire trails, I just really slip back. Like last week I ended up wearing the Asics Glide Rides, which are great shoe, but they do have a bit of a plate and they do sit a little bit high. So on some of the technical rocky trails, I was just finding like my foot was really just wanting to roll in it. But it's potentially the best option that I have at the moment. I think what I'm finding most exciting about running this marathon at the moment is not having to carry a pack for 42 kilometers. Just being able to pocket some gels, take some water on course. Oh, it's gonna be so nice. I've got 2 of these white Salomon flasks and one of them has a small leak. I haven't taken the time to figure out which one it is, so I'm gonna just hedge my bets that this is the good one. But yeah, it's weird. It's like it's got like a little split down here somewhere and it just drips and drips and drips, and then yeah, but when I'm like running I just have like a wet shirt. This is literally the worst part about trail running, especially in the dark. The spiders. I just almost ran into one. I'm gonna get him out of the way. Oh, yuck. I think the most underrated thing ever is just laying down after a long run, a hard run, and just taking a minute. So many times I just get back from runs and I'm like in my brain going, what's next, what's next, what's next? So it's really nice just to take that time to reset. So long run done, it absolutely did not go to plan. Obviously, like I set this route that I wanted to do, and then yeah, like initially it was really dark. I was hitting all these single tracks and I was just like real nervous of spiders the whole time, so it was real slow. Yeah, the climb I decided to go up Tuggeranong was quite steep and quite rocky. Last night this felt like a really good way to get up Tuggeranong. Right now, not so much. Once I got up Tuggeranong, that was great, knew where I was, and yeah, went down the other side. Went to turn off onto the trail towards Rob Roy. Turns out it's private property, can't go that way, so change of plans. I followed the fire trail down to the road, turned around, came back up and found some hills. So the way that I wanted to go heads through private property. So I figured probably shouldn't go through there, but there's some hills over here. And I'll just try to head up those. I was heading up to Rob Roy, which I know is a decent climb. So I might just mean I cut a few more laps out this way and get the elevation there. And that was actually sick. Like, got to the top and it was beautiful. But look at this. I don't know if you can see, but all the balloons are out. And yeah, just went up to one peak, went down to the saddle, up to the other peak, down the other side, and then came back on myself. And yeah, then decided I was just going to turn around and backtrack. So I went back up Tuggeranong, just the usual way that I've done. And I got to the top and was like, oh, I'll take a different path down. And sometimes I just shouldn't listen to what my brain says, because in theory, sounds great. Practically though, every time I make these decisions, it just never seems to turn out. So I took this first trail and just, yeah, absolutely just ended up bush bashing. So got to a point where I was like, I just got to turn around and go back up. There's no trail here. Turned around, went back up, found the trail that I ascended initially and went down that one. And then I got to the fire road where I literally should have just turned left, went the way I came. But in my brain I was like, oh no, I'll go right. Surely it loops around. So I went right. Ended up going downhill for quite a while. And then was kind of looking at the map on my watch, and because the map, it doesn't actually show other trails around, it literally just shows you the path that you need to follow, or if you've gone off route, you've just got these dots into the blackness. So it just didn't look like these dots were going to link back up to the trail that I was on at all. So yeah, I got to the bottom of this fire trail and just ended up turning around, going straight back up. And yeah, from that point I was like, follow your map, Demi, be smart. And made it home. So got home and then just, yeah, did a little bit around the lake to finish, just to get a bit more stimulus on some hard surface. Basically totaled, so 26.2 Ks, ascent of 866, and then it took me 2 hours 51. So just went a little bit over just to get that last K in. But yeah, didn't go to plan, but got it done. Had a great time. I slacked off in my nutrition a little bit, so I ended up jamming in about 1 litre of water in the last 45 minutes. Weighed my pack at the start, it was 2 kilos, so it was really nice to feel that getting lighter during the run. And yeah, it's just been like muggy here in Canberra in the mornings, quite sweaty. We haven't quite got to those cool, crisp mornings yet. So I am looking forward to that. And that's a wrap for this week. It honestly feels like this marathon's coming up so quickly. Yeah, excited to keep cracking on. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been following along. I have run into a few people lately. I ran into Angelo this morning, who waved me down right at the end of my long run, said hey, that he watches the channel. We had a little chat about training and racing. Yeah, it's just really, really nice. I love being able to engage with everyone. I've had people message me asking for tips on like shoes and race nutrition and what packs I wear and things like that. So absolutely, if you've got any questions, just throw them at me. But it's been such a ride, loving this running journey so far, and yeah, keen to see where we end up. So a little bit of insight into next week's video. I want to go into a little bit of the nutrition that I've taken. I've felt like lately I've fallen off the wagon a bit. I have been a bit slack with some of my routines, some of my nutrition, taking my supplements, all that sort of thing. So I really want to take these next 2 weeks to really dial that in, get back on track, and set myself up for this marathon. I'll probably do it as a little bit of a habit stack, so just adding one thing in each day. And yeah, hopefully just doing these videos will be a great way to keep me accountable. So stay tuned for that.